guys, how we doing? My name's Nick Rubolino, and I'm here with Steve McGill, and this is the Don't Move, Improve podcast by Munz Construction. So Steve is our sales manager, and he's been with Munz for a very long time. And I just want to start this off quick.
About 20 years.
20 years. Mm-hmm. One of our longest standing employees.
It's been a while.
Yeah. So what brought you to Munz, and give me a little backstory about how you got here.
Yeah. So, before I worked for Munz, a couple of years before I started working here, I was working at a cabinet shop, making cabinets, and then installing cabinets. When I left that job, I went and took on a job working for a small home renovation company. Wasn't a great fit for me. Saw Munz was hiring, came down, met with Rich, and then started doing trim and finish carpentry for Rich.
Nice.
Did that for about probably 2, 3, maybe 4 years. Then kind of moved into other areas. Mm-hmm. Did project management for a little bit. Then did estimating, kitchen and bath design, sales, and just kind of grown as the company's grown.
So it all started off with the field crew, or you started in the field crew, and then you worked your way up, and now you're in the office.
Yep.
And we now have a sales office in Newtown.
Correct.
We just got in there a few months ago.
Opened that up in the late winter, early spring. I think it was around mid-March we moved in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we're settling in nice over there.
Yeah.
Been there about 6 months. It's nice. It's pleasant. It's definitely more efficient because everyone has their own office, so their own space.
Yeah.
So
take us through like the day-to-day at the sales office.
At the sales office, so we get in. My personal day-to-day. Most mornings I'm involved in some kind of a staff meeting, either meeting with my different sales reps and estimators, kind of doing an overview of the projects that they're working on, where it is in the process, making sure that we're staying on target, keeping communications open with clients. That's always important to us, making sure we're in constant communication with our clients, making sure we're meeting their expectations. And then other days I might be meeting with either Kira, who handles all our permits, make sure stuff that we have sold is progressing and on target for starts, as well as might also be meeting with the design team, where we are looking at again where they are in their process and making sure we're working towards proper starts of projects. Outside of that, my day could involve anything from working with my team on putting together a contract, or working on an estimate, finding numbers, following up with architects on plans as they're being developed, or various trades. But my team, their day to day, they're going out, meeting with clients, taking initial calls with clients, understand their wants and needs for their project. Setting up site visits, compiling estimates, writing contracts, setting up meetings to meet with them, and seeing if clients want to work with us.
Yeah, so you've been doing sales for a long time. What do you think sets the Munz sales approach apart from other contractors in the area? Now, I haven't been in construction for too long, so I don't know if our process is very different from other contractors, but I know we have specialized teams too as well, which I think is really unique. So every customer is getting a custom approach.
So we really are covering a gambit in terms of like different project types, right? From simple projects all the way up through complete custom projects. So, we try to tailor the workflow for that project. We don't want very simple projects to become cumbersome in the estimating and development process. But at the other end of the spectrum, very big and complex projects, we we are working with the clients to, not only develop, get them pricing, but develop what it is we're building. And, fundamentally, my philosophy that I try to carry in the sales department is making sure that we are developing what we're building and looking at pricing for it at the same time. I found, when either one of those elements gets too far down the road without looking at the other one, that's when expectations fall out of synchronization, right? So always trying to kind of keep an eye on what we're building, what the costs are, always trying to make sure we're giving the clients options. We'll certainly advise them, give them offerings, but, we're trying to meet their needs, their wants, not ours. So, that's part of that development process, making sure that they know what their options are, what those costs are, how that affects their needs.
So we have all these different sales teams. We have people that handle kitchens, bathrooms, and that takes a lot of leadership.
Sure.
And how would you describe your management style when it comes to the sales team, and how do you bring out the best in them?
Good question. Probably something I struggle with internally a lot, Nick.
Yeah.
But honestly, first off, I'm always trying to, make sure we're staying on task, right? But at the same time, I'm always trying to make sure that I am available to my team. If they have questions, if they need help with something, that I'm there and trying to, hop in there, help them get what the information that they need or the answers that they need, kind of make sure things are moving forward. So I that's how I view myself. So you might get different answers from some of my staff.
Yeah. Speaking of large staff, we're growing right now.
Sure.
And what are some traits you look for in a good salesperson? Because I know in the past year, we've added 3 or 4 new team members over there, 2 or 3, something like that.
Really one. I guess it'll be 2 come next week, because we lost Matt.
No, that is true.
We had to give up Matt to the design team.
Yeah.
So, and he's doing great over there, and it was the right decision. But at the same time, kind of had to fill his shoes. So I kind of there are kind of 2 functions being handled over there: estimating and sales, right? So with my sales members, I'm looking for them to, be communicative. Make sure that they are, in communication with the clients. And at the same time, I need them to, be diligent with paperwork, with timelines, make sure we're getting information, proposals, whatever it is, back to the clients in a timely manner, meeting their expectations, right? So, and setting expectations too, right? So with regards to the estimators, it's more they're going out there putting together the pricing for these projects that we're building. And whether that's communication with reps, vendors, other internal members, again, just constant communication.
Yeah. I think communication is important pretty much at every step of a business, especially Munz. There's so many different factors. And what moments are you especially proud of for your team?
Good question. So always excited when I see one of my members, finally come to an agreement with a client that we've worked very hard on. Sometimes it's a very long time, or when I'm also excited when the client's excited, right? We've worked for maybe several months to develop a project, and they give us the green light. They say, yeah, let's go ahead, let's build it. That's always an exciting time. So some projects come easier, every project has its own challenges, right? Some are relatively straightforward, but some of them have lots of hurdles and stuff, and we have to work with the clients to overcome those hurdles. So when we beat those hurdles, that's a good feeling. So
Switching gears a little bit here.
Sure.
Steve in the office, his nickname is Spreadsheet Steve. the man is a wizard with spreadsheets, and I thought I was good with spreadsheets and Excel.
New one today.
I know. This man is an absolute wizard with the spreadsheet and all that type of stuff. And I think I wanted to ask you a little bit about data tracking and how does that help you with your job and kind of with the sales process and with a growing company like Munz Construction?
Yeah, data tracking. So, I'm always thinking about goals, right? And, with a goal, there's 3 outcomes, right? You can beat it, you can meet it, or you can not hit it, right? Obviously, you don't want to miss the goal, right? So, but you have to have goals, and they have to be realistic, right? So that data helps, set those paces, those pictures for what those goals should be. Makes them realistic. You don't want them to be easy, but but also, we have to, we have to achieve things. So having that data helps, again, set baselines to what you're trying to achieve, right? And if it's a long-term goal, make sure you're tracking to hit those long-term goals. If it's a short-term goal, being able to see, okay, did we hit it? Great, right? You learn more from your failures, frankly. As much as you don't want to fail with your goals, you're going to learn more from it. So when you do not hit that goal, why didn't you hit it? Being able to step back, look at it, go, what missed? What didn't work? Why? Right? And learning from that, growing from that. So that's why data is so important to me.
Yeah.
And that's why I make so many of the spreadsheets that I do.
Yeah. So. And it's important to realize that Munz Construction customers are more than just numbers too. Right. So we use data to make our customer experience better. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
That's the purpose behind it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you notice some trends changing in the construction industry, whether it's from homeowners or the way construction companies are run? You've been in the business a long time, so you can give us a little insight on that.
Out in the field, there's always change in terms of new products that are becoming available, or usable. So I won't necessarily get into that trends in terms of the business, our business, so to speak. I can definitely look at like in-law suites.
Yeah.
I look at that and, it seems like a lot of people are going back to multi-generation living. You kind of look back in our history. It was very common 100 years ago for multiple generations to be living at the same, house or, farm or whatever. And then, probably 20, 30 years ago, maybe even longer than that, right? That changed. Every generation had their own house, right? But in today's world where you have extremely high, housing costs, assisted living is extremely costly. And then, childcare. Yeah. That's all very expensive. So I'm seeing more and more families going back to, multiple generations living there so they can help each other out, right? The younger generations are taking care of the older generations, and at the same time, the older generations are helping the younger generations with their kids and raise their family. Yeah. And extend their values. So I think that's great. And it's something that we're working on a lot is in-law suites. We meet with a lot of people, talk to a lot of people. Yeah. So, trying to think of any other trends.
So let's switch gears a little bit again. Let's get a little bit more into you. So what do you enjoy doing outside of work? I know you're a legendary chess champion. I've been told that by a few of our project managers and people.
Hardly would say I am a chess champion. But I do like playing chess. Yeah. So I have an app on my phone and I play it frequently. Yeah. So but I would hardly say I'm a chess champion. I'm trying, right? Yeah. But that's a lofty goal. Yeah. So outside of that, like to golf. Member over at Yardley Country Club. Hope we get a couple rounds in this weekend. Actually, I've enjoyed that for decades now. Yeah. So and then also big Eagles fan.
Yeah.
So definitely getting excited for the upcoming Eagles season.
Yeah.
So
going to any games?
Actually, I was just talking to my buddy. We are talking about going to Kansas City.
Okay.
But that's in like 2 weeks. So
Going to Are they playing home or away?
it's away. It's in.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So I was looking around for plane tickets last night. We'll see if we put something together.
Yeah. Are you confident for this year?
I am. You know, been an Eagles fan a long time. I try not to get overconfident.
Yeah.
So, but I am pretty confident. I am always more nervous at the beginning of the season because until you kind of see a new team kind of come together and how they how those new parts mix. You don't fully know.
Yeah.
And they don't show anything in preseason anymore.
Yeah.
You know, they're not putting the actual product out there.
Yeah. There's like 2 generations in Eagles fandom. And I've learned this from my girlfriend's siblings that are younger than her. There's like the kids that grew up with the Eagles being good, like winning the Super Bowl, winning 11 plus games a season. And then there's us that grew up, at least for me, in like the Donovan McNabb era where we were good but constantly losing in the big games, and then previous to that we were just trash. So we're always hesitant.
Perspective is everything there, right?
Yeah.
Because I would go, you have the 2000s through now generation, and then the pre-2000s.
Yeah.
Which is, Chris and his dad. I mean, his dad's been a fan since the 50s and 60s. He's got a different perspective than both of us, where, no, they were losers.
Yeah. Because I'm still hesitant about this season too, but I feel like that's like residual, like, trauma almost. Because it's like, I don't want to get my hopes too high because we might lose. And then you talk to some younger kids and they're like, oh, we're going to be the best team in the league. I'm like, I don't know about that. We'll see, you know?
I hear you.
Yeah, so
I used to be like that when I was in my 20s. We're going to win every game, and then we're just going to roll right through the playoffs.
Yeah, it's never that easy.
Yep.
Maybe last season was pretty close to that, but
yeah, honestly, the Carson Wentz season was up until he got injured. We were just rolling.
Yeah.
And then, Nick Foles came in and put us on his back.
Yeah. All right, so
not to take anything away from the defense.
That is true.
So,
yeah. So the final section of our podcast called Rapid Fire. I'm going to ask you a few random questions, and you can answer them quickly or elaborate on whatever you want. It's just to get to know more about you. So,
sure.
Are you a coffee guy or a tea guy?
Coffee guy.
Coffee guy. There we go. What is your favorite movie?
Favorite movie?
I knew this would be a good question because Steve loves a movie quote. And I feel like every time we talk, you spit a movie quote at me, and you're like, "Oh, did you watch this movie?" And I'm like, "No, I
don't know that I can say I have a favorite movie."
Yeah. So what are some of your favorites?
A good one that I always kind of go back to is Remember the Titans. I always thought that was a good movie. But yeah, I can list off the comedies that I watch, and adventure movies and action movies too. So
yeah,
but Remember the Titans is always a good one.
Yeah. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Early bird.
Early bird?
I can be both.
You're the first one?
I'm not a good sleeper. So
okay.
You might catch me up late and you might catch me up early, or both. So
what is your favorite place to grab lunch?
Again, I don't have one. I like to mix it up. So I like to bounce around, different places. So
about newer lunch spots in Newtown, because we're in this office for what, 20 years, probably eating the same stuff.
Yeah. And it's better in Newtown. There's more spots.
I know.
So still kind of bouncing around. Isaac's has a great buffalo chicken Caesar salad.
Yeah.
McGurk's is they have a good they have a couple good sandwiches. I think it's the Island chicken sandwich. So been hitting those places pretty good.
Yeah.
So yeah,
got to get the nachos at McGurk's.
Yeah, it's not a lunch thing. Maybe if I go back for happy hour, but not so much for lunch.
Yeah. If you weren't in construction at Munz, what do you think you'd be doing?
I'd probably be building spreadsheets somewhere else.
Yeah.
Don't know. Certainly when I was younger, I wanted to be an architect.
Yeah.
So, architect or engineer, I could see that, when I was younger, software developer and software engineer weren't really a thing. I could have seen myself kind of going into that direction.
Yeah. Cool. So are you familiar with the blind ranking trend on social media?
I am not.
Okay, so
I might have seen one or two.
yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm going.
I have to put them in order. But,
Yeah. So rank these.
without knowing the other ones.
Yeah, rank these 5 construction projects from your favorite to your least favorite. 1 being your favorite, 5 being your least favorite.
Okay.
And this might be a little bit different than other answers because I asked Mike, the project manager, so his perspective is like
Sure.
what working on the project is. But I guess this is just like
Okay.
what your favorite is in general.
Okay.
So, kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, kitchen's got to go 1 because it's, I started off as a cabinet builder.
Yeah.
So, it's always going to hold a spot.
Bold move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
How about a
gonna go 1.
bathroom?
Bathroom? I'm going to put it 4. It could be 5. They're fun. There's a lot of tight details in bathrooms. There are in kitchens too. But there's less final carpentry.
Yeah.
There's more of that in kitchens, so that's more in my wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm. How about in-law suites?
In-law suites, I'll put 3. I'll kind of put, I'm pretty neutral on that.
Mm-hmm. In-law suites is kind of a weird one. And after I made this list, I kind of thought about it more. In-law suites has such a wide range of what it could be. It could include a kitchen or a kitchenette or a bathroom or a bedroom or...
Thinking about it, maybe I should have put that 5. I mean, in-law suites, as good as I think they are challenges from my perspective.
Yeah.
There's a lot of zoning involved in them. Mm-hmm. So, impervious surface, setbacks, things of that nature. And then on top of that, the townships have a lot of additional requirements with them, and they all handle them differently.
Yeah.
Some of them are special exemptions. Some of them are variances. And they have their own criteria in every township. So, amount of square footage that an in-law suite can be, or, it can't have its own cooking appliances, or it has to have an internal connection. Every township has its own standard. Mm-hmm. And usually there's more bureaucracy to go through with those. Mm-hmm. So so from a development, they're fun. Mm-hmm. They're a mini house, but from a getting through the process, they can be a little bit more.
All right, so the next up is sunroom.
Sunroom?
I feel like it's a little bit more simple than
tougher now.
in-law
What do I have left? I have
so you
2
have
and 5.
Yeah, you have kitchen 1, bathroom 4,
Yep.
in-law suite 3.
So I got 2 and 5 spots left. So what's he gonna hit me with on the last one? I gotta go 5.
5?
I gotta go
Interesting.
5. Not that
Why is that?
In-law suites can be awesome, but I'm just planning on whatever the unknown one is. I'm gonna want
a little bit of strategy.
Yeah. So that's really the only reason it's going into 5.
Yeah. All right. How about a basement?
Basement. Yeah, the basement works at 2 because they can be fun. You can do some fun stuff there, right?
Yeah.
Bars, entertainment rooms, game rooms, home theater rooms. So you can have a lot of fun. And they're, for the most part, sometimes you got to work around mechanicals and stuff. But a lot of times they're just big open spaces, big blank canvases.
Yeah.
So they can kind of be a challenge to lay out. But, typically, when clients want to do them, they're usually looking to do some fun stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All of them are good projects. Are there any projects that kind of stand out to you that you remember working on that you're like, wow, that was memorable? That's something that
I mean, yeah, a lot. Like I said, I've been here a long time. We did a full home renovation down on River Road in Yardley years ago. That was a big build, and it was a fun build. I really liked, it wasn't an overly big house.
Okay.
But it had just a very nice, clean, open floor plan, but was still somewhat organized, where there was defined kitchen and dining room and family room. But we had some fun stuff that we did there, like a built-in laundry chute that dropped down into some upper cabinets in the laundry room. There was also a sauna kit that we assembled upstairs. You know, that'd be one project. The one basement that we did, you know, I've done a couple really cool bars in basements, which they're fun.
Yeah.
They're fun because
Every time you build a bar, must be fun.
well, if you're doing like a real nice bar for someone,
Yeah.
usually they're fun people.
Yeah.
You know, so that's you know, they're and they're kind of like kitchens. They're, you know, right next to a kitchen in terms of the cabinetry and all that kind of stuff. But have a slightly different set of parameters that you're trying to hit.
Yeah.
So that's fun. So yeah, I've done a couple of real nice bars that kind of stick out in my mind. You know, but I'm sure if I thought about it, I could, you know,
Go on and on.
some real cool bathrooms that we've done over the years.
All right, so that is Steve McGill, the sales manager at Munz Construction. Thank you so much for taking your time to talk with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, following us on all of our social medias, and we'll catch you on the next one.